Do you think there's a lot of fat people around here?
Yeah. Here we go, so I hope you're hungry.
Hungry? Oh, jeez, Louise, that is...
It's been overweight for a very long time. Still am, I still got a long way to go.
Yeah, I went to the doctor and I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol and type 2 diabetes.
Somebody's ordering kebab shop food.
Every day and twice a day. I have seen 3 times a day, you know.
How many calories is in this thing?
The Welsh Valleys, famous for its proud history of coal mining, steelworks and stunning scenery. It was among the beating heart of British industry before thousands of jobs were lost. And today, it's facing another big issue: people's expanding waistlines.
Lamb doner, chicken shish, coffee kebab, and a lamb shish. Enjoy meal.
Obesity rates in the South Wales area of Blaenau Gwent are the highest in the country. 4 out of 5 people here are overweight or obese, putting an increasing strain on the health service and making it Britain's fattest borough. This is Real Britannia.
Welcome to Ebbw Vale. It's the biggest town in Blaenau Gwent, and the people here are the largest in the country. Takeaways are everywhere you look, so much so that if you search online for local healthy restaurants, the second result is McDonald's. So you've got customers who come here every single day?
Yes. We do see address as every day and sometimes same address twice a day.
Somebody's ordering kebab shop food.
Every day and twice a day. I have seen 3 times a day, you know.
It's getting busier actually compared to before, yeah. If you go regular customers, someone do order every single day. Every single day they eat fast kebab, someone of the customer. Yeah.
For adults in the UK, those with a body mass index between 18.5 and 24.9 are classed as being a healthy weight. Over 25 but under 30 counts as overweight. A BMI between 30 and 40 means you're obese, and 40 plus morbidly obese. In Blaenau Gwent, figures from NHS Prescription Service Now patients suggest almost 80% of the population here are overweight or obese, far higher than the Welsh average of 62%.
Hi Ian.
One of those who struggled with his weight is Ian, the owner of Joe's Fish Bar in Cum.
Been overweight for a very long time. Still am, I still got a long way to go. But for quite many years I was just sat home because I couldn't find work. And in the end I had to get up and find something, and I started something. Everything shut, so there's no work around here at all. They closed the steelworks, closed all that down. So basically, where people in Wales worked, they've all closed down. So there's nothing. The pits have all been closed. There's nothing here at all.
But how does that translate into having more people who are overweight and obese?
Because if they're sat at home, they're probably eating more. Because if they were out working and everything, if they had something to do, they're just finding it hard. So they're just struggling, they're coping in comfort eating. I would say they're stressing out much. They're just comfort eating, because I was for a very long time.
So this is
where we prepare and cut the chips, and we keep our frozen food as well in the fridge, the freezer. And this is where we keep our potatoes.
So these are the 23-pound sacks of potatoes then?
They are indeed.
And how much was that before?
This time last year, £7.50.
Ian says a lack of jobs and embedded deprivation is the root cause of the problems facing Blaenau Gwent. And while takeaways in the town centre appear to be thriving, the cost of living means he's facing closure.
We owe about £16,000 on electric and about £8,000 on gas, if not more. I've had to put myself into an IVA to help sort it all out, because it just got so high and we got ourselves in debt trying to get out of it.
So what led this small area of southeast Wales to this point? Blaenau Gwent was once a pillar of the Industrial Revolution. At one point, there were over 600 mines across Wales, including 38 pits in Blaenau Gwent alone. It was a physically demanding and dangerous job, and today the Guardian of the Valley statue in Abertillery commemorates the 45 miners who lost their lives in the Six Bells pit disaster here in 1960.
Things have rarely gone right at the Ebbw Vale steelworks. During the Depression years of the 30s, it closed entirely for 9 years.
But in Ebbw Vale, it was steel which put the town on the map. Opened in 1790 and spanning several miles, the Ebbw Vale steelworks was a powerhouse, employing over 14,000 people. Today, this is all that's left of the original building, and after its closure in 2002, all those jobs were lost. Some of those who helped shape this area's history say both the town and its people have never recovered since.
What you see today in Ebbw Vale is gone, dead. There's nothing here at all. The steelworks has vanished. And unfortunately, where the steelworks was used or been, today is nothing.
I am sad at what's happening to the children today, yes, of course I am. Of course I am. They haven't got the advantages that I had. Though the money was nothing. I brought my wife up on £6 a week. But I had a job and we made it, and everything was happy then. It's not so happy today. All that's gone now. It's all gone.
You look at the town. What shops have we got in there? We got nothing. You've got a Merthyr, and they're supposed to be the most deprived area. They've got a lot more than we've got, and yet they're supposed to be one of the most deprived areas. So what's gone wrong with Blaenau Gwent?
It's nothing like we used to know. Employment is virtually non-existent. The feeling that you had of being a valley boy, and which I'm proud to be, is dead. It's dead.
But here, in the self-titled birthplace of the NHS, officials are aware of the challenge. The Aneurin Bevan Health Board has a specialist weight management service to support anyone looking to lose a few pounds. We asked to speak to them on camera, but no one was available.
Shrug your shoulders backwards. Nicely done, guys. Perfect.
Tackling obesity requires a multi-layered approach, and getting people active is one way to start.
Hello.
Wales's National Exercise Referral Scheme is the only programme of its kind in the UK and sees GPs prescribe patients regular exercise at classes like this. It's open to those with a health condition or anyone who wants to keep active, and the best way to get a feel for the class was to get stuck in.
Dance with somebody. Excellently done. Nice backward rotation. Perfect.
I've lost weight by coming here. 13 stone. I make friends, and it's a place to hang out and enjoy myself, and it's fitness, and it gets me out of the house so I don't feel alone. Since I've been doing this, I've got more energy, I'm breathing easier, I'm doing a lot more, and I can walk without aids.
You must feel so proud.
I am, yes. It's a lot of hard work, but I've done it.
I've lost both my parents since I started coming here, and this is a great help. The friends I've made and the staff here, you know, it's really good. Really, really good.
You've got other people with you, you're not by yourself, everybody's enjoying themselves. It's worth it.
I went to the doctor and I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes. So I started coming to class, and since coming in over a year, my blood pressure's normal, my cholesterol's normal, and I'm out of the range for type 2 diabetes. So yeah, really pleased.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much.
The overwhelming reaction from people here seems positive, and the benefits seem more than just dropping a jean size.
Phil, obviously amazing seeing some of the results that's happened. There was one woman that I spoke to, I think her name's Bobby Rose. She's lost 13 stone.
Yeah, she's done marvellous in all fairness to her. The transformation, when she first came to us, she would do the class at the whole time sat in the chair. Wasn't very confident about doing the exercise either. But as the years have gone by, you can see completing that transformation, basically. They enjoy it. It's a social side as well. You know, some of them now will go and have go up to the cafe and have a coffee and all the rest of it. You've got out of the house for a good few hours. You know, you've had a giggle, you've had a laugh, you've had a catch up with your friends. It's not just about the exercise, it's the social side that it brings as well. So on the whole, yeah, I think it's having quite a big impact.
But exercise is only one form of attack, and the fight against obesity doesn't stop there. Politicians here are coming after junk food too.
Every day, millions of people up and down the country enjoy a meal deal for their lunch. But from 2025, you might struggle to get your hands on something like this in Wales. Combos high in fat, sugar and salt are set to be restricted by the devolved government here. New laws will also restrict retailers from running promotions on the unhealthiest of foods.
Yet that doesn't extend to restaurants. And at the Mountain Air pub in Tredegar, not many diners go hungry. It's famous for its giant food challenges that only one person has ever completed. But how would I fare against a mountain of meat?
Here we go, so I hope you're hungry.
Hungry? Oh, jeez, Louise, that is... that is insane.
We're not done yet.
Not done yet.
Right. So I'll set the timer.
Right, yep.
Start. Best of luck.
All right, thanks a million. How many calories is in this thing?
Thing around
It's like the size of my face. Oh, God. Right, after this is it.
How are you getting on?
How long has it been?
Come out 20 minutes.
I feel like I'm going to be sick, like I'm going to burp, and like I'm going to pass out with sweat.
I think next time, just our ultimate mixed grill would maybe be more suited to you.
Yeah. On a serious note, though, this is more of a marketing ploy for you guys.
Yeah, it is. It was designed to try and bring in maybe some of the competitive eaters. You know, they're big on social media, so the marketing we get off the back of that, we get a lot of people then coming in. But I wouldn't recommend Joe Blogs coming in and ordering one of these.
But you are, as the sign says at the beginning of the restaurant, you are home to the 35-ounce steak. Now that's a kilo of meat almost.
We used to do a 16-ounce rump steak, and then we found a couple of people who were asking if they could order 2. So from that, then we decided to become a home of 35-ounce. We've even got a slim and wheel consultant that comes in, sometimes once a week, sometimes every fortnight. He'll come in and have one.
There'll be some people who look at this and look at the 35-ounce steak and they'll say, no wonder this part of Wales has got one of the the highest rate of overweight people and obese people. Some might say that restaurants like this are causing that and fueling that, and actually you guys should be more responsible and, you know, make smaller portions. What would you say to that?
This is something a bit extreme. The 35-ounce, like I said, if a slim and wheel consultant can come in, eat it, and hit his target weight that week, or even lose weight, it's not completely bad.
While no one expects to take on challenges like this every day, the food options here are striking. Blaenau Gwent was once named Britain's takeaway capital, with fast food making up over 70% of the options.
Tackling obesity costs the NHS around £6.5 billion a year, all funded by the taxpayer. By 2050, that's expected to shoot up to £10 billion. But what some experts are calling for is more cash now.
Obesity is definitely one of the biggest strains on the NHS. You know, it's a huge problem in terms of its prevalence, how many people are suffering with obesity. We have 60,000 people with severe obesity in Wales alone. We have 600,000 with obesity in Wales. And those people living with this disease, they're normal people. They have all the health problems that we have, and they have additional ones on top of it related to their obesity. If we can take away some of the burden of the obesity, then we can improve their health, we can reduce the costs.
Is there enough money by the Welsh Government, by the UK Government, to tackle this huge crisis that we're facing with obesity?
In a word, no. There isn't enough money at all in the UK or the world, and especially here in Wales, given to obesity management and weight management programmes.
There'll be some people who are watching this who say, well, it's the obese people's fault. They shouldn't be eating so much. They can lose the weight if they just skip a meal. Is that really the case, or are some people predisposed to being larger?
You know, stigma is one of the biggest challenges as a professional in obesity, is that people have that attitude and they look around them and they judge immediately based purely on appearance. It's very politically easy and convenient, in fact, for a government to say, well, actually, you should exercise more and you should eat less. That's not my problem as a government.
And speaking to some locals, it doesn't take long to notice the prejudice larger people face.
Do you think there's a lot of fat people around here?
Yeah. At the end of the day, we are in a deprived area and cheap food is fatty food. But it is quite shocking, really.
Do you think people around here are too fat?
Yes. Yes, including me. No, I think so. I look at some of the young ones, they're really obese.
Do you feel sympathy for people who are obese or overweight, or do you think that they brought it upon themselves?
They brought it upon themselves.
It is what it is. You can't do anything about it. They can't, can they? It's up to the people themselves to do what they want to do.
In some parts of society, it seems like fat phobia is still considered harmless fun, but words can cause huge hurt. Hello, it's Ollie from TalkTV.
Hiya, you alright?
Can I come in?
Yeah, of course you can. Come on.
Rachel Meredith lives in Ebbw Vale with her 2 children. She says she's struggled with her weight ever since she was a teenager and knows firsthand just how cruel people can be.
I took my children down to a beach, Swansea way, and we've been there many, many times before. It was a lovely, lovely day. We parked and made our way to the beach. I literally very quickly just changed my top. So I had a bikini top underneath. I very quickly changed my top. It was done in a matter of 20 seconds. The kids didn't even notice me do it. And I saw there was a couple to my left and they just started laughing. And I just said, excuse me? I was like, yeah, do you mind keeping your top on? They just kept on at me. Oh, it's disgusting. You're disgusting. And at that point, I just felt so threatened. And so I was shaking at this point because I was thinking they're not going to leave me alone. So I actually did phone the police for real. And then I phoned my partner and I just said, you wouldn't believe what's just happened to me. And I told him. And a group of ladies had overheard me. And they just come up to me after I finished the phone call. I just burst into tears and they said, are you okay? I said, no, I'm not. At that point, I felt so isolated and so alone. It was horrendous.
I mean, does it still bring you to tears? Do you still really get upset about it? Or have you managed to find a way to move on past it?
At the moment, I have quite a lot of other, I wouldn't say more important, well, yeah, more important things going on with family. We've had some devastating news within the family. And I'm really struggling with it. My dad is going to pass away.
So sorry.
Sorry.
No, I'm so sorry.
The weight's had to take a back seat to that. We've just found out he's got brain cancer.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Rachel.
So yeah, the weight is it's just gone. It's at the moment. My father is more important.
What's your message? What's your message to people?
Remember that like what's happening with me and my family at the moment, there are other things. There's more important things going on in life. We are our biggest critics. So we don't need you making that worse. We just don't need you making it worse.
Rachel's experience is not unique, and conversations around weight loss and obesity can be sensitive. Whether it's tackling deprivation, encouraging exercise and a healthy diet, or managing the stigma around plus-size people. But there's another word we heard repeatedly, which could add a new perspective.
In my Ozempic Tri-Zone, I lowered my A1C, CV risk, and lost some weight.
Ozempic and Wegovy are both brand names of the drug semaglutide, a medication used to manage sugar levels in type 2 diabetics. The weekly injection can help patients lose weight by reducing appetite and slowing digestion. But privately, people are using semaglutide as a silver bullet for weight loss, and this buying up of supply has led to global shortages, meaning those who need it can't get it.
I've been on a weight loss injection. Just found out today by the doctors that they've now taken it off. There's no longer, you can't have it no more. The government has just withdrawn it. So the injection I've been having for the last 9 months, which has helped me lose 22 kilos in weight, I can no longer have because they've taken it off the market and they're not going to replace it with nothing else.
And doctors say Ian's not alone. Across the country, people's medication is being pulled.
So there's two components to this. The first is that the supply just isn't there. You know, there are other healthcare systems which have been prioritised over the UK, but the supply of the physical injections, the drug itself, just isn't there. You can't find a pharmacy around the place, even if you pay high prices privately, that has it in stock to be able to physically give it to you. So the injections are just not available now. So the government has had to say that we can't give something that we don't have. And that's the reason that I understand is behind the fact that people aren't getting the thing that they usually get.
We reached out to the Welsh Government, who told us that this was a UK-wide decision affecting all patients. They said, due to supply disruption, anyone prescribed semaglutide would see their medication reviewed and could be offered alternative treatment. So where does all of this leave Blaenau Gwent? Before we came here, I'll admit that I was sceptical of the statistics. I honestly didn't believe that 80% of people could be overweight or obese. But walking around the towns, meeting local people, the challenge weighing heavy on this community really is noticeable. And while steps are being taken to move forwards, it feels like a long road ahead.
At the end of the day, boys, you got, 5 kebab shops in one town by it, and obviously we're Welsh, we like rugby, and people think, oh yeah, we will get big for rugby, but no, a lot of people, this is why we have chronic heart disease and stuff like that, just because of stuff like that.
I'm addicted to the feeling food gives me when I'm down and depressed and lonely, and life can be tough sometimes. So yes, I would say I am addicted to food in that respect, that it makes me feel better, and that's sometimes the only thing that does make me feel better.
In order for the wider society to understand that actually this is a disease and warrants treatment like any other disease, we need to address stigma, and we need to start to challenge people who are saying that actually it's patients' fault.
But if obesity is a disease, which symptom do you treat first? The lack of healthy food, unemployment, deprivation, inactive lifestyles, or prejudice? Experts say it's not a choice of one or the other. Everything needs to be tackled now.